You might say that Cory Trepanier's work is pretty wild, and by wild we mean inspired by the wilds of some of Canada's most beautiful places, in particular our national parks. Cory just returned from a month-long journey in the Yukon, and this morning he's here to share his work. Now, capturing the beauty of our national park.
Yes, going from the darkness of night to the light of day. In this case, one of our most beautiful national parks, Kluane National Park in the Yukon. And Cory Trepanier just spent 30 days there, really getting a behind look at the park, capturing it on canvas and on canvas board. And he joins us in the studio here. You were saying just before we came up here that you wanted to see behind those beautiful images that most of us only get to see on television of those mountains.
That's right. Last spring I was, I'd not only seen some images on TV, but last spring I was at the edge of Kluane National Park just for a day, and I saw these beautiful white mountain peaks, and I said, man, I'd love to see what's behind there. And now, I've got to say, I had the chance to see what was behind there for 30 days, and it's absolutely incredible.
Okay, so you've got a couple examples of some 14 paintings that you did, and we should point out, these are still somewhat in their infancy.
That's right. I like to call them, if you will, humble beginnings. I try to start my paintings on location as much as possible. I'm always a little shy to show people sort of what my work looks like before it's finished. So if anybody hasn't seen my work, they can Google me. But anyway, it's the essence of being out there and trying to capture the landscape on canvas by experiencing it firsthand that really drives me, and it's such an important part of my creative process. And so these pieces, as rough as they are, were started out there in the field while I was sitting there experiencing the different, the weather changing and everything else. So I'll be cutting these down to a final size. And these two in particular are two of three pieces that I'm contemplating from my month out there to develop into an 8 to 10 foot, what I'm calling, I guess, if you will, a legacy painting, sort of the greatest experience in landscape that I encountered during my month as sort of my ode to Kluane National Park. And that's one of the big goals of my month out there, was to connect with the landscape in such a way that I could be driven back in the studio to spend 2-3 months to create this major piece.
Most Canadians are lucky if we get a week at a national park. And we know that the numbers are down of visits at national parks. So tell me why you felt it was important to get in to one of those areas and bring it forward. For us to experience like this.
Well, you know, I had the fortune in my last project, Into the Arctic, to go across 5 Arctic national parks. And I started to develop a greater appreciation for what the parks offer to us as Canadians or visitors or anybody who's out here, in that they protect such a vast area of incredible wilderness, and each is so different from the other because of they protect these geographically region and geologically different regions. And of course, as an artist, that's very exciting, because I love to paint the wilderness, and the parks give me a little bit more access to some of these places, and I just hope that more people through what I'm doing, painting and filming and so on, can connect with it on some level, maybe get up there for themselves.
Well, it's funny you mention access, because some of these spots were not easy to get to.
Well, this is true. I mean, access is all depends on how you measure access. I mean, I flew into the ice fields and was painting Mount Logan, the biggest mountain in Canada, and getting in there, we actually got stuck for 4 days because the weather would not allow a plane to come back in to relocate us, and we had 6 inches of snow. So, yeah, access is all how you measure it.
That's right. And what? So, the hope is, I guess, to continue this. I mean, there's lots of national parks, lots of places you could go.
Well, this is only the beginning. So this is called TrueWild, my project. TrueWild, a legacy for the national parks. This is chapter 1. Yeah. In future years, it's my goal to go visit a number of other great wilderness national parks like the Torngats and the Honey. But for now, my work is cut out for me in the next 8 to 9 months. I need to not only finish these paintings, but I will be also working on developing a film from my journey as well. And in the short term, every month or so, we'll be delivering new video journals on our website. There's already a ton of pictures from the parks, and I hope they help people connect with these places.
Yeah, and so why don't you give us an idea where we can go to find, if people want to experience more, because most people aren't getting up there.
No, it's true. It's true.
This is the closest they'll get.
Well, one of the cool things we've developed, I hope that it's really going to connect people even more than just random pictures, is that we have an interactive map on our website, truewild.ca. And the interactive map has photos, journals, and content that's going to continue to be added as we go along.
It's breathtaking stuff.
Oh, thank you.
It really is beautiful. Cory Trepanier, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming.
And we will see you again, no doubt, when we want to see the big unveiling, right?
Well, I appreciate that. I would be glad to share it down the road. And if I can just throw in quickly, there's some wonderful people up there at Parks office who are a great help in the project as we traveled around, and some others at Canada West Mountain School and Seal of Sojourns who helped me to access these landscapes that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Fantastic. And we're happy you brought them with us.
Well, thank you very much.